Well, it's a new era for Houston Cougars women's basketball, and today I'm happy to be joined by the new head coach of the program, Matthew Mitchell. Coach, first of all, welcome to Houston, and I appreciate you taking some time.
Oh, my goodness. It's such a pleasure to be with you, and we're excited to be in Houston, and it's been a wonderful start to where we believe we can go in this program, and we're off to a good start and can't wait to see what the future holds, but happy to be here.
Well, I'm sure a lot of our fans know your background, a lot of success in the SEC with your time at Kentucky, NCAA tournaments, Sweet 16 appearances, Coach of the Year awards. You took a little bit of a hiatus from coaching for about 5 years from 2020 to this year. So what made this the right time to get back in, and what made Houston the right fit?
Well, I had been pursuing another career and had enjoyed doing that, but I really think I was coaching my middle school aged daughters, and I was at their school and was really enjoying being on the court with them, and had a couple of moments of encouragement. First one with my daughter, who just said, "Dad, I think you're doing a great job, and we all love you coaching, but I think it might be time for you to get a college team." And we were watching a ton of basketball last winter. Every night she just enjoys watching the game, and just made that comment. And so then my wife said, "Did you hear that?" And then we had a serious conversation about really putting our best foot forward. We'd had a few schools had reached out over the time, but nothing ever materialized. So that was schools calling me. So I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just get aggressive here and see what's out there. And so found this opportunity at Houston. And when I really was able to dive into it and they were seriously interested, just saw the makings of what I think can be a very, very successful Big 12 women's basketball program. We just have an amazing talent base here in the city, just right here in the city. My recruiting trips are not real long right now. I just hop in the car and I'm driving to high school gyms around the city, and you just see really great talent. I think there's tremendous energy around the university and all the strides that President Couture's made academically, and the energy that Eddie's brought in for moving the athletic department as a whole in an exciting direction. And then, of course, when you see what Coach Sampson's done, it's very inspiring, very encouraging that we can build something special here.
Well, in that 5-year gap, a lot has changed in college athletics, certainly. So jumping back in, what's maybe been the biggest challenge for you?
Well, I think for me, trying to understand the new changes with valuing a player financially.
Yep.
And that's really the only difference. They always were valuable. The scholarship was valuable, and then we started paying cost of attendance, a stipend above the scholarship. And so I had some familiarity with that. But then now, once we get into this NIL era, what is the market? What do we value as a basketball program, and how do you attach a monetary reward to that? And for us, all of it was, on the front end, we had to figure all of that out. But it was incredibly educational. It was a challenge to my leadership and to my stewarding of this particular basketball program. So it was exciting, and we found some fantastic young people to come here to Houston. So that's the big obvious change. And so people have asked me, what are the changes? I've quite frankly seen more similarities than change. I've been really struck by the quality of the young people that we've been able to engage with, and people say the sky's falling sometimes in the country, and the youth are hopeless and all this kind of stuff, and our future's doomed. And I've been really, really encouraged by the quality of the young people we've been involved with. So that's been some of the highlights, but definitely the financial piece has been the biggest change.
Yeah, when you come in and you're going to have to hit the portal and bring in a lot of new faces, what are some of those qualities that you're looking for?
Well, there's three things. There's talent, there's skill, there's energy. That's really where you need to try to get to a yes on all three of those. And so with the particular brand of basketball we play, a talent that I can't give someone talent. They possess that, and that's God-given talent. So we look for speed and explosive athleticism. And so, once you lay eyes on the tape, and that's really how we recruited everybody, was just watching them on a screen. You look for that. You look for toughness. Do they get on the floor after a basketball? Do the little things that help us be at a championship level. And then, their skill, can they handle the basketball? We play a very up-tempo style, so everyone on the court being able to handle the basketball and attack the opponent. Can they move laterally? Can they defend? Do they have some defensive tenacity to them? Those are some of the things that we look for. And then are they high energy? And so once we identified that on the screen, then you start talking to people. And we really had a tremendous amount of visits, and we were involved with multiple people, and we're fortunate enough to attract people to the program that we believe we can have success with.
You mentioned the up-tempo style of play. Tell us a little bit more about your coaching philosophy and what you want the product on the court to look like.
Yeah, it really developed at Kentucky. I worked for the great Pat Summitt at Tennessee, and she was the greatest coach of all time in any sport, in my opinion. Just a phenomenal coach. And so learned a lot from her and was trying to mimic her in many ways with my coaching style. And at Kentucky at the time, we were not a powerhouse program when I took on that challenge, and was trying to do it in a traditional type of fashion, and it just wasn't working very well. We were 33-32 our first 2 seasons, and really no momentum going. And we decided to just use what we had, and we decided to start recruiting players, no matter what their position. Did they have a passion to come to the University of Kentucky and build something special? And we didn't have a lot of size and strength, but we had a lot of speed and quickness. And so we developed an up-tempo style, a lot of defensive pressure, a lot of pressure on the ball, deny one pass away, and we call it camp defense, what they teach you at summer camp. It's not very complicated, but it's very powerful, and simple's not easy. It's not an easy way to play, but it's a very simple style, and we just want it to be fast on offense and defense, and kind of backed into a corner and developed it out of necessity. But once we got going, we saw how much fun it could be, not only for the players and the coaches, but the fans. And that's what I found out at Kentucky. We really were able to build a special program there in every way imaginable, academically, athletically, accomplishments on the court, built a very loyal following. And so I think the style of play is something that everyone can get excited about.
New staff with you as well. When you're building your staff, what are some of the qualities you look for there? How do you approach building your coaching staff?
Well, I was very fortunate that one of my most trusted colleagues ever that was with me at Kentucky, Amy Tilley, she's our chief of staff and handles everything on the operations side. And so that really gave me a lot of confidence to come and start building a staff. So fortunate that she was able to make that commitment and uproot. We both left Lexington and came to Houston, and happy we did. But that was really the cornerstone of getting the staff, because I knew I had confidence that she knows how the program operates and could help me put it together. And then we started looking for, I thought it was very important to get as many Texas ties as we could, and people that had great relationships. I always recruited Texas, signed a few players out of Texas, but had never worked in the state. So Demetria Buchanan, great player at Texas A&M, really 14-year veteran in college coaching, was the associate head coach at Auburn. Really liked how Auburn played the last few years. I did some TV work and watched them play, and so I felt like she would, and she and I connected and really liked her. She's a Houston native. She played high school right here in Houston, and so knows a lot of people, and just a really great, competent coach. Anthony Anderson's worked in numerous places in Texas, another coach that has a lot of experience working in the state. Marquez Webb had been in the Big 12. This will be my first foray into the Big 12. And our final staff members all share a unique quality. I either coached against them as players or I coached one of them. So Marquez was at Vanderbilt while I was coaching at Kentucky, and she had been in the Big 12 the last couple of years, so I thought that was really, and I'd always admired her as a player. Denisha Stallworth played for me at Kentucky and was a first-team All-SEC, really great player for us. We had the best 2-year run wins-wise that we ever had while she was playing. Has gotten a pro, drafted in the WNBA, played a professional career, now is in coaching, and so that's been really special to have a former player on the staff. And then Dom Dillingham, another Houstonian, another Houston native, great point guard, great basketball mind as a player at Mississippi State. Always admired her. She was a very memorable player when I coached at Kentucky. So that's how it all came together, and we've worked extremely hard. We've accomplished a lot in a short period of time, and we've built some strong bonds together, and I think that's very important when you're trying to lead a program.
I want to ask about the leadership side as well, because in addition to being a basketball coach, you've been a public speaker, you've been something of a life coach, I would say. You've been a social media presence, a best-selling author. All those avenues kind of revolve around the leadership side and what you call the winning tools, which is the name of one of your books.
Yep.
How did you develop that philosophy on leadership, and who are some of the people that helped influence you?
Well, the most influential people were my mom and dad, and they never coached a second of basketball, but they really coached me on what the winning tools became. And the winning tools are real simple: honesty, hard work, discipline. Those are our three anchoring, guiding principles every day we want to live in the program. We want to use those three tools to build a life that is productive and benefits others and makes an impact on other people and makes an impact on the world. So my parents were the absolute foundational guidance in my life. And then just so fortunate over the years to meet so many great people. Pat Summitt was one, Mickey DeMoss, who I worked for at the University of Tennessee and at the University of Kentucky. I was her assistant. Worked for 4 Hall of Fame coaches: Pat Summitt, Mickey DeMoss, Carol Ross at Florida, Carolyn Peck at Florida, and then Mickey back at Kentucky. So they were very, very powerful leaders that I learned from. And so I wanted, when I got my first opportunity to coach a Division I team, that was at Morehead State University, I needed to decide what we were going to be about. And that's where, and I like the idea of building a team every year, because every year, and now more than ever, people move and seniors leave and freshmen come in, and you never coach the same team twice. So that unique opportunity is so precious that I wanted us to be really clear on how we were going to build it. And we decided we were going to build it on honesty, hard work, and discipline. And it has served our teams well. And then out in the corporate world, we were able to make a lot of progress and help people learn that system of leadership. So it's been really valuable. And now it's back in action in college basketball, and we're using it every single day to try to show the players the way towards success.
I'll get you out of here on this one. If you were to address our fan base in the city of Houston at large, what's your pitch as to why we need to fill up the Fertitta Center this year and get people out here to support you and your program?
Well, we've had pockets of success here at Houston. We know it's possible in Houston women's basketball. We know this is a basketball city. It's been so fun to come to a city that's had so much success in women's basketball on the professional level with the Comets and Coach Van Chancellor, who coincidentally, he and I are from the same hometown and played for the same high school basketball coach and are great friends. He's been another really huge mentor and leader in my life, and I'm grateful for that. So we know that people love winners, and they love winning, and they love basketball here in the city. And so I would just invite everyone to just give us a chance. If you'll come to the Fertitta Center one time, I think you'll keep coming back, because you'll see we really are grateful to be a part of this university, and we're going to represent it with tremendous hustle, grit, toughness, using the winning tools every single day. And I think it's going to be one of the most fun things fans can do this winter time here in the city. And we want to invite everyone to join our team.
Coach, I really appreciate the time. Looking forward to getting it going.
Yep. Thanks so much.